Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. When you work overtime, you're paid for that time, unless you're exempt. That's federal law and also state law. Now, a federal court in Texas has just struck down a U.S. Department of Labor rule to increase the minimum worker's salary that would be eligible for overtime pay. The impact of that decision is affecting employees and employers here and nationwide. U.S. Department of Labor overtime rule increased the minimum salary for overtime exempt workers by raising the threshold from $35,000 to almost $44,000 as of last July, and it was scheduled to go to nearly $59,000 in January 2025. Now, the legal challenge, the state of Texas and several businesses argued the DOL rule injures them by forcing overtime payment of overtime to newly non-exempt employees, or limiting the hours those employees work. A federal judge in Texas who heard the case just struck down the rule. So this has caught employers and employees by surprise. How much impact in New Hampshire and New England? With me to sort out this issue is the co-chair of the Labor and Employment Group at the Sheehan Finney law firm, James Reedy, who has offices in New Hampshire, Vermont, and Massachusetts. Welcome. Nice to have you. Thanks so much. Jim, what's your take on that decision?
Well, it's nothing like a Friday afternoon surprise. 6 weeks, effectively, before the change was to go into effect, the court rolled it back, not only stopped the advance in January, but rolled back the July increase. And so what does that mean for HR professionals? That means they made changes already in July, and they probably made changes in advance of the January increase.
This is costing about more than 4 million workers across the country in every part of the economy, costing employers who have to do a U-turn for their overtime. How much impact in New Hampshire and New England are we going to see?
Like anything else, it was set in motion. These changes were set in motion. The question is whether or not, if employers increased the salary in July and maybe even increased it or notified employees of the increase in January, whether they're going to roll it back. Probably not. But what they're going to do is focus on the duties test. And that's what the court said. The court said in this case, Department of Labor, you exceeded your authority by focusing on salary as opposed to the essential or primary duties here for the exemptions, the overtime exemptions. Employers focus on that.
Did the businesses that challenged this, did they have a case?
They did, and it was, the question was whether or not, and this goes back to a case that was similar in 2016, whether the Department of Labor exceeded its congressional authority in setting that salary limit.
Do you think there's going to be an appeal?
There could be an appeal, but we also know as it's famously said, elections have consequences. There's a new administration coming in, and likely they will not pursue the change.
Now, as you know, Reuters News Service is reporting the threshold for overtime eligibility will now revert back to $35,500.
Yes.
Right?
That's correct. And so it really is going back to the pre-July 1, 2024 standard, which is pretty outdated. But again, the advice we give to clients is focus on the duties.
That was my next question. What should businesses do and what should employees do?
Well, first of all, the businesses should focus on the duty test, which each of the exemption categories has primary duties outlined, and make certain that the job as it actually exists fits within those duties to be exempt. Certainly payment on a salary basis now at the lower standard. What should employees do? The employees that are exempt from overtime, they're paid on a salary basis, and hopefully it's an adequate salary. For those that are eligible for overtime, record your time and get paid for the hours worked.
Yeah, overtime these days is really important.
Yes.
Jim Reedy, who is co-chair of the Labor and Employment Group at Sheehan Finney Law Firm in New Hampshire, Vermont, and Massachusetts.
Yes.
Nice to have you here.
Thanks so much.
If you missed part of this briefing on overtime, you can go to WMUR.com, where it will be posted all this week.